Welcome back to the channel, ladies. I'm Dr. Phoenix, and today we're going to be talking about cravings, why we get cravings, what you should do to beat cravings, and then also some healthy food substitutes that are going to help you squash your cravings, because truth be told, cravings are oftentimes a signal that our body is deficient in a certain type of nutrient or several nutrients. So here's the quick and dirty. Cravings are caused broadly by two reasons. Reason number one, you're stressed out or you're bored, okay? So we crave foods because this is going to help alleviate some type of stress that we're feeling, some type of boredom that we're experiencing, and a case, like a very classic case, really cool study that was shown with women, okay? For a lot of women, myself included, we tend to crave chocolate around the time that we get our monthly visitors. And you probably wondered to yourself, why am I craving chocolate like this? Well, it was shown in this study that over 70% of women that were picked for this particular study craved chocolate around the time of the month. And it was ultimately shown that chocolate does something very interesting in our brain. When we eat it, it helps to release dopamine, which is a happy chemical. It's a happy neurochemical, makes us feel good. Now, when we have our periods, lady, or right before the onset of our periods, what we notice is, a lot of us may tend to feel irritable. We get headaches, we get aches, we get pains. And then when we introduce chocolate can help alleviate this stress because it helps release this dopamine, this happy chemical. So this is one case, one very classic case of how certain cravings help us relieve stress. So now let's move on to the second broad reason on why we may get cravings, and that is because we are deficient in either a particular type of nutrient or several types of nutrients. So case in point, let's go over two classic examples. Example number one. When a lot of people are experiencing hunger and cravings, it's actually a signal that our body is dehydrated, not necessarily that we're hungry. And the reason why I say this is because dehydration comes with a series of symptoms. One of the very first symptoms of dehydration is actually hunger. It is not thirst. Thirst is actually one of the last things that you experience. And what you find with a lot of people nowadays, because we just don't drink enough water, is that people are getting hungry all the time. They're thinking that they're hungry, but they're actually dehydrated. And if you would just drink some more water, you would actually squash your hunger and your cravings. So that's number one. Now let's move on to another nutrient. And this is something that you might be experiencing. So let's say you're craving salty foods like potato chips, all right? Some of you may really love potato chips. You get these random cravings for potato chips. Well, this could actually be a signal of a deficiency in chloride, which is an electrolyte. And instead of reaching for the potato chips, what you should do is go after healthier foods like celery and tomatoes and olives. These foods naturally contain chloride, and what it'll help do is help alleviate that salty craving that you're having for the potato chips. So there's two examples. And what I'm going to actually do is leave a link down in the description box and up above to a chart that's going to list a ton of very common food cravings, what it actually means, what nutrient you're most likely deficient in, and what healthy foods you should just start eating to get rid of these cravings. So ultimately, ladies, the biggest take home from this video is that when it comes to cravings, you want to do some simple steps. So number one, drink water first, okay? Because a lot of times this craving, this hunger that you're experiencing is actually dehydration. Number two, plan your meals in advance. This way, if you genuinely are hungry, you'll have your meal there and you won't have to go hunting for food, which could actually stress you out. And then you're reaching for not so healthy things like sugary things that are going to help release that dopamine. Number three, meditate, okay? This is really big. There's tons of studies out there that have shown that people who suffer from things like cravings, binge eatings, cravings for sugar, meditation can help reduce these things by up to 70% and also help reduce stress. And then last but not least, a really big tip that I like to give is to do the broccoli test, okay? So for those of you who have never heard about the broccoli test, this is going to really help you determine whether you're hungry or not. When you're getting a craving, when you think you're hungry, say to yourself, would I eat a big bowl of broccoli right now? If you say no, it's probably some type of unhealthy craving. You just want some sweets. You want some sugary, salty, whatever foods. And it's not necessarily that your body needs nutrients, which is what I wanted to end on, okay? Because the biggest take home of this video is this, ladies. It's really, really important to feed your body foods that are rich in nutrients, not just rich in calories, because there are a lot of foods out there that while in the moment when we eat them, like potato chips, you feel kind of satisfied, but these foods are devoid of nutrients. And what's going to end up happening is you're feeding yourself a ton of calories, but then you're neglecting nutrients, and you're just going to end up with more and more cravings and putting a whole bunch of calories, sugar, salt, fat in your diet that you don't need, especially if you're on a weight loss journey. So those were my tips. That was the biggest take home point on how to beat cravings, why we get them. Make sure you check out that chart. Once again, link above, down in the description box below. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, it was my pleasure. Now drop down, give me a like if you did enjoy the video, and then also share your 2 cents down in the comments section. And if you have any strategies on how to beat cravings, I'm curious what you guys are using, or if you use these strategies, let me know. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, and I will see you guys in another episode very, very soon. Peace.